Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the InboundREM YouTube channel. Today is Whiteboard Thursday. Today's subject is what skills do real estate agents need? And no, I am not going to just spend 10 or 20 minutes telling you that you need digital skills. That's part of it. But there are a lot of other skills that a real estate agent needs to be successful. So today's video is probably aimed at that very rarefied group, those of you considering getting into a real estate career, or those that are very new into said real estate career, or the over 200,000 of you that hold a real estate license but do it part-time. All right, so what skills do, as a 30-year vet in sales and a guy that's talked to about 5,000 realtors, of which maybe 1,000 of them have been really successful, what sales skills do they need? Well, aptitude and communication, but I'm going to take this a little bit further, all right? Obviously, you need to be comfortable talking to people. That should go without saying. However, there are a number of communication skills that I feel are underemphasized. And today, I had the great pleasure of interviewing Steve Schul on my podcast. And that interview is what led to me. I've had this on my list for a long time to do a video about this subject, and I just wasn't feeling it. But talking to Steve today really kind of like pumped me up, because he reminded me of a lot of these very basic sales aptitude and communication skills that are necessary to be a world-class real estate salesperson. So there's something that we don't talk about a lot, which is, I call it mirroring. But the ability to adapt to the person that you're talking to is incredibly important. What does adapting mean? Adapting means that if you're talking to a financial person, you talk about the numbers. If you're talking to a person that seems to only want to talk about your credibility, how many transactions have you done? What has been the success of your prior clients in terms of how long has listings been on the market? Basically, what is your credibility? Well, a communicator in today's world is more like a person that has people empathy. Some real estate salespeople have this and some don't. It is a really good idea when you start talking about sales aptitude that we talk about trust and empathy and mirroring. These are all strategies that one would apply to be a great salesperson. I'm going to share with everybody something that my grandfather, my step-grandfather technically, shared with me. This is a man that tried 13 times to be successful in business, failed 12 of the 13 times, retired a very wealthy man. And his main role in all 13 of these businesses was to be a machinist salesperson. He sold, back in the day, plastic molding was a big thing, and probably still is, but he told me that the number one thing that he, like when I asked him for some sales advice, he literally just looked at me and says, "Son, my only sales advice to you is to understand that without preparation, you're preparing to fail. That you should treat sales like a career from the very minute you decide to sell anything at all, ever. Cars, pencils, doesn't matter. If you're going to sell something, then you need to treat it seriously, because it's the highest paid hard work that you'll ever find and the lowest paid easy work." All right? So when you're looking at sales aptitude and communication, I don't have the time doing this video for you right now. I don't have the time to teach you all the different things that go into being a master salesperson. There are people that have made books and careers and spent 30 years mastering the art of sales. My advice to you as a real estate salesperson is go out and pick up Tom Hopkins' book on how to master the art of sales, because he was a real estate salesperson. Okay, and most people don't know that that's his background, real estate. So go out and pick up Tom Hopkins' book and take it from there. That's the book that I cut my teeth on years ago, and it has served me very, very well. And if you treat your sales career like a career, you're going to go much, much farther. That means always being a student of communication, empathy, trust, a very underemphasized quality inside sales. Because generally speaking, the only people that we need to trust more than we need to trust our doctors is literally the people that we buy stuff from. And real estate, there is no more important transaction for most people than that, which means that the highest degree of trust that's ever going to be asked of a salesperson is probably going to be in the real estate industry. All right, so focus on sales as a career. Now, marketing, I built a company around marketing. Marketing, including writing and filming content. As a brand new salesperson, you are at a disadvantage in more ways than I can count. Okay, you're up against people that have huge books of business, constant referral business. You're up against a major headwind. There's only two major advantages, three major advantages that a new salesperson can get over older, more established real estate salespeople. And what would that be? Well, there is a vast ocean of opportunity for middle-aged and younger people that are getting most of their information from the internet. Anybody sub 45 probably, and I'm 54, I get most of my information from the internet, and everybody that I know that's a generation below me gets all of their information from the internet. The restaurants they choose, the places they shop, how they have the groceries delivered, all done online, right? So the only thing about these agents that may have been selling real estate for 30, 40 years is they are the antithesis of a modern agent. Trust me, I talk to them. They're like, I need to rank on the Googles. Okay, some of them are not even entirely familiar with who the big players are in technology, which sounds crazy and incredible. But when you have a book of business that just grows automatically because you've been doing it for 30 years and you get calls, your phone rings with referrals, you don't necessarily find it necessary to get out there and market yourself online. And that's the crazy thing. A brand new salesperson in today's world could really carve out a competitive advantage by getting good at not only writing and filming content, but also being able to read and write in a way that they can explain things to others. If you just had that one skill set, I can read a real estate marketing contract, and then I can explain it to the world in a way that I think that they'd understand. That is a career-making ability with the world that we live in right now. Because you could film YouTube content about it, throw it up on an Instagram channel, and you are off to the races. That is a good enough skill probably to solve your lead generation mechanisms for the entirety of your career. Now that leads us to number 3. Our process creation and analytic skills. My God, if you had any one of these 4 that are on this board, you have a really big chance of success. There's a lot of old school salespeople that I know that have transferred their experience into real estate and make 10 times more money than I ever made anywhere else, ever. Because if you can door knock, you can cold call, you're going to make money. Full stop. If you have that experience somewhere in your background and you get into real estate, you're going to make some money. Now, what about these other skills? Process creation, analytical skills. Woo! If you combined a little bit of sales aptitude, a little bit of marketing, and a lot of process creation and analytic skills, which is the accounting mindset, that personality type that some of you are, that is the biggest moneymaker of all of these, crazily enough. Because to create a process means that I can take a script that like Mike Ferry gives me. I can use it with mediocre success a few times myself, but I can log, notate, and account for all the rebuttals and what has to happen after you get somebody interested on the phone. And I can create a process that other people follow. And then I can use my analytical skills to look at how many different times we applied this process and what the result was. And once I have a baseline, I can start making changes inside the process and seeing if they improve or decline the baseline. It's marketing 101. It's time consuming and irritating for 80 to 90% of the people, which is why very few people do process creation or apply analytical skills, because they find it boring. The reason I have drifted into marketing is I don't find process creation and analytical skills boring. I find them interesting. I oftentimes find a lot of curiosity in the numbers. And because I do, that has led me into the ability to be an owner in an agency, because it tends to be that process creation and analytical skills is the number one thing on this board that would lead you into the ability to be a broker or own a business, because business are all about the numbers and all about the process the business follows. If you had a little bit of understanding of people gained over up here through maybe a lot of sales experience, well, then you might know the best people to pop into the process, and oh boy, now you've got $1 billion winner right there. Last but not least, AI. So there's going to be a very small handful of you that find this video that are going to be young. You're going to be 20, 30 years old. And let me tell you, you have a bigger advantage than all the other people combined, because AI is brand new, and applications for AI, such as building chatbots. If I said that to the audience right now, I could do 9 videos on building a chatbot using like chat GPT, and I'm going to have 10 people watch that video and 5 understand it. AI is in real estate specifically. AI is one of those things where a lot of things can be done for you. You can actually tell AI to create processes for you. That's possible. You can then refine the process once it's automatically created. You can also have it do a lot of your writing for you. You can even, to some degree, have it do some of your film editing. And that's just right now. 5 years from now, you're probably going to be able to create an entire video that would be suitable for your real estate business just by using AI. And if you are capable of reviewing it, creating it, reviewing it, understanding what you're looking for as far as the result, then you can create 10 videos in the same amount of time it takes me to create one using AI, which means that you could be a far more prolific marketer than a traditional real estate person with a very minimal amount of effort. Makes AI the strongest skill on the board in terms of catching up to established businesses. Not the strongest skill, like it was really helpful to do process creation and analytical skills. You can create 10,000 AI things, but if you don't have the ability to connect the dots and put them into a process or understand what's happening once you've created that stuff, it's only going to be so successful. So this is still, process creation and analytical skills is still probably my number one as a business owner. But understanding marketing, including writing and filming, comes into number 4 very, very strongly, because you need to understand what looks good. And that's how you are going to use AI right now, is you have to understand what a good result looks like. So if you have no skills or experience whatsoever, you're most likely going to put a lot of junk out there. It's going to have very little value, and you're just going to get frustrated. So a little bit of analytics goes a long way, because if you understand what people are looking for, and a little bit of marketing goes a long way, because if you understand what they're looking for, and if you understand if you can get a decent result with AI, like it answers the question of what people are looking for, it does so fairly professionally and well, and you can do it very, very quickly using AI, just a couple of hours maybe, to create a really compelling answer that's really good looking. All of a sudden, all of these skills come into play, and you will catch those experienced agents very, very fast. They will lose a lot of business to you if you apply all of these skills. Now, the one person on the board that will likely never, ever, ever lose business to new or old people is going to be the old school salespeople that can still pick up a phone or knock on a door and do so comfortably and with a lot of discipline and diligence, because the strategy of getting in front of people and talking to them about real estate is still going to be incredibly successful. There's just no doubt about it. You can do all the fancy marketing that you want. You can spend $10,000. It will not exceed the results that a person knocking on doors will get, most likely. As long as they're diligent, they do it with a great deal of discipline. And as they do it, their skill in answering objections, starting conversations, and relating to people, being empathetic, and then being trustworthy, all of those things will connect the dots, and they will have a very strong chance of making very big sales numbers much, much faster than somebody, let's say, doing digital marketing or AI. But over time, marketing and AI will win. Like the door knocker and the phone caller can only knock on so many doors, call so many people. That's the limitation of the skill set. Anybody trying to make from zero to $200,000 in number one first year in the real estate business, sales aptitude, number one. But anybody who's looking at this long term, 3, 4, 5 years, knows for sure they've stepped into a new career, has no doubt. Then the skills that carry you further, farther, longer is marketing, AI, process, analytics. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Whiteboard Thursday. If you did, thumbs up the video, leave me a comment. Appreciate it. See you next time.